All right, ladies, I'm so pleased to introduce another speaker in our amazing Women in Publishing Summit. For those of you who are maybe newer to the summit, haven't heard me speak yet, haven't been a part of this, I'm glad you're here today. And I am Alexa Bigwarfe, your host. I am an author, coach, and publisher. Today, I am very pleased to be bringing you Kate Frank, and we're going to be talking about how to get your book profit ready. Get your priorities straight before you write a single word in your manuscript. So, Kate, let's talk a little bit about you. Kate says it was a natural transition for Kate to move into ghostwriting books for authority clients. The role she plays in crafting successful, profitable books for her author clients combines her decades of marketing experience, her uncanny ability to listen to others well, and hear her clear, concise language skills. Most authors come to the task of authoring a book with at least some hesitation. Don't we know that, especially women? They question whether their book can succeed in the overcrowded book marketplace. They wonder if anyone will want to read the book. If it is their first book, they really don't know where to start at all. The truth is, for many book authors, their intense pride at first holding a book with their name on it as an author on the cover sadly and slowly descends into disappointment when they learn book sales are not as easily as they expected. Oh my goodness, we experienced this a lot. So now this is cool. We're not only talking about how to get your book profit ready, but Kate is also a ghostwriter. And I don't want to lose that as we're talking about the things that she's talking about, because especially with busy entrepreneurs, a lot of times you'll start wanting to write your own book and be gung-ho on writing it, and then realize a year and a half later that you just have not had the time to sit down and write it. So having someone either co-write your book with you or ghostwrite your book for you is always a great option. So keep that in the back of your mind if you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to find the time to do all of this. Okay. So, all right, Kate, let's hello. Thank you for being
Hello. I'd like to say something about the idea of profit from a book. One of the most common things that people tell me when I initially talk to them is they're not writing the book to be profitable, because they're all about all this excess information in their heads that they want to share.
right,
And their primary goal is making a difference in the lives of other people.
right.
But it brings me back to, I was in real estate for decades. And there's a lot of people in real estate that say the same thing. It's not about the profit, it's about making a difference and helping people and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And my coach said, let me ask you this. If you want to make a difference in the world, can you do it with less money or more money?
Yes,
It takes money to make a difference in the world.
it absolutely
So
does.
even though it's not your nature as a fiction or nonfiction author, it's not your nature to be about money. It's important that you think about how you're going to take all this hard work, all this effort that you put into it, and end up with money. And that's what I'm all about.
Well, can I tell you how glad I am? We did not rehearse this. I did not feed this to her as some way to start it off. But I am so glad that you started that way, because for anyone who is new to me through this conference and is new to my story, like my entire writing journey began with a healing project after my infant daughter passed away.
Mm.
So I started as a blogger and realized I wanted to have more impact while I was writing to help people heal and all this kind of stuff. And then when my surviving, I had twins, and it was one of the twins that passed away at 2 years
Oh,
old. And yeah, it's a sad story. I
awful.
tell it a
Yeah,
lot so I can get through it,
exactly. It
but
still hurts, though.
absolutely. It's only been 7.5 years. So yeah, we're not that
Hmm.
far out. But when my surviving twin was 18 months old, a girlfriend, a close girlfriend of mine, delivered a stillborn baby. And
Hmm.
I decided at that point that I wanted to do more. So I reached out to a bunch of
Hmm.
other parents who were writing on grief, and we compiled a book that I published. And I created my imprint, Cat Biggie Press, for Catherine. My daughter's name was Catherine. And
Hmm.
and called Sunshine After the Storm, a survival guide for the grieving mother. And that's where this entire thing began. The whole
Hmm.
process began. But I bring this part of my story into this discussion because I felt very icky about the idea of ever making $1 from this book. It was never my intent to make any money, because I wanted, and we still do. We have a publisher. In fact, one of our sponsors, Vervante, Cindy, is a very giving woman, and she gave me a lifetime publication of the book so that I can donate it for free. To
Mm-hmm.
people. But what I found is that I want to do more to help other women who are healing, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't do it without making any money. So
Exactly.
so I have started marketing the book more to sell copies so that we can give back more. And I know that was a very long
Exactly.
segue, but it's so true. And I want people to hear that message, your message that you just said. You cannot make a difference if you don't have money to make a difference. I know, I tried it with my credit cards. It did not go well. Did not go well. So
And what your experience is common in the nonfiction author world. Now, although what I'm going to talk about today applies to fiction writers as well, um, they would start on step 2 of my 10-step process rather than with step 1.
mhm,
But you and your collaborators and your book had a natural way of figuring out what your expertise was,
right.
what was important to you, and what was important for you to share. And what most nonfiction authors do when they're working on their own is they've had this idea, these concepts that have been simmering in the back of their mind for years, maybe even decades, and they want to get it out into the world.
Mhm,
So what they do is they sit down at the computer and they just start writing,
right.
just basically downloading all this stuff in their head. And if the listeners don't get anything from what I have to say today at all, except don't start there. This is a bad place to make profit. This is a bad place for making a difference in the lives of your readers. Um, the reason why I start with the expertise inventory is because most of these people that have been carrying around all this information in their head, if they take an inventory of all they know and just use 3x5 cards, write a few keywords down about the stories, the places where you've helped people, the things that you've learned over the years. Just put some keywords on 3x5 cards. Start with a stack of 100, and if you go through all 100, great. Because what's going to happen once you've done this inventory is you're going to be able to then sort these cards into 2 to 3 books or more.
Right.
And then the rest of my steps, the other 10 steps in the process, apply on how to use that inventory.
I love that. It's very similar to like a mind mapping
Mm-hmm.
exercise. But what I like about how you do it is when I do a mind map, it's one big giant sheet of paper or poster
Mm-hmm.
board that has
Mm-hmm.
stuff all over the place. And then I have to also go take it. You've already taken the part of transposing out. You've got it on cards. Now you can organize so it eliminates a
Mm-hmm.
step. I like that.